Alright guys, today I'm going to do a video on how to remove your Mopar cold air intake and service and clean your filter. Now the first thing that I want to do is I just kind of want to show you how filthy and dirty my filter currently is. This is after about 10,000 miles and a full year. That's how much gunk can get caught in there. So the one thing I've noticed by watching previous videos is people struggle with removing this hose from the filter. So what I did is I removed the hose before I loosened this clamp here, and that proved to be much more simpler. So I went ahead, loosened up my clamp, and you should be able to, relatively speaking, be able to wiggle and jiggle this off. And there you go, step one. So now if you move on to step two, I'm just going to kind of do this by the books just because I actually have the instructions. And now let's measure the filter media. So it's approximately 9.5 inches. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up a bucket with about 9.5 inches of warm water per the instructions, and we're going to put it in there and let it sit for about 10 minutes. Alright, so now it says to fill up your bucket and put a light household detergent in. I just decided to use just some dish soap, and they said to submerge it. Don't allow it to go over the top, and to let it soak in the water for 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, and now it says to repeat steps 3 and 4, which is basically to empty the bucket of water with soap and put new cleaning solution in there and let it soak for another 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's take a quick look at the water. It's not quite as dirty as I expected, but as you can see, there's definitely a lot of dirt and scum that collected. So I'm going to go ahead and do this step again. All right, and now we'll go for round 2 for 10 minutes. And while we wait, we go ahead and clean up the engine bay because it is pretty nasty. All right, so that's quite a bit better for just a quick 10-minute cleanup. So now let's get back to the filter. All right, and now it's time to empty this dirty bucket again. Fill it with clean water and do the rinse. And now it's time to do the rinse. It says to move it around, rinse it out. So I'm just going to go up and down and around. I'm going to try to get all of those loose pieces of debris, the leaves, the bugs. Yeah, I think this should do this. I think that should do the trick. I think I really don't see anything. And there's a few things in there, which I have to. I might get a light brush and kind of brush those out when this kind of all dries. That looks pretty good. And the water here is still pretty clean, so I would, so I think we've done an adequate job. This thing's cleaned and ready to go. Now she's dry. Go ahead and put your hose clamp back on. And one thing that I found that helped tremendously in the drying process is if you hold it like this, where you got a good handle on it, and shake it back and forth like this, you'd be surprised at how much water you're able to get out of it and expedite the drying process. So now just go ahead and put her back in. I found that if you put it the tall end up first, you're able to get it in and out a lot easier. So once you undo this, pull it up this way, and then you can just pull it out without any trouble. So now I'm going to go ahead and put that hose in. All right, so I got the hose back in, and now we'll just tighten this back up, and you'll be good to go. And there you go. That is the by the book instructions per Mopar and Chrysler and how to clean your air filter. So I hope you guys liked the video, got something out of it. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.